Hey guys, welcome back and happy Wednesday. All right, guys, happy Real Housewives of Beverly Hills / Real Housewives of Dubai Day. And you guys know, since the episodes are coming out tonight, we will be back tomorrow at 12 p.m. Eastern to mention it all. Now, in the meantime, guys, I wanted to say thank you to everyone who joined Jason and Josh last night for Anchor Watch. And on top of that, everyone who's been joining memberships, we do have our next memberships, well, members only live on Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern. So hopefully you guys can join us for that. In the meantime, guys, we have Tamra Judge who has some really sad news. So we're going to break into it. But before we jump in, if you guys haven't already, go ahead, smash that like button. If you're not subscribed, get subscribed. Don't forget to hit that notification bell. And now let's talk about some Real Housewives of Orange County.
It's time for all your binge-worthy pop culture news. Welcome to Up and Adam.
All right, guys. So when I said sad news for Tamra Judge, I mean sad because it's never fun to announce that you are going out of business, right? Or closing a business or something that you've worked so hard to build is coming to an end. And for Tamra Judge and her husband, Eddie, well, they're doing just that. They have now officially closed Cut Fitness after 10 years, which is an incredible run for a gym. Now, Cut Fitness, she's had, it was like her baby. We saw it featured on the Real Housewives of Orange County a lot. And, you know, the fact that it's coming to an end, she's talking about it and she's explaining how this, sucks. We decided to close our gym down. And she said way before she was ever asked back to the Real Housewives of Orange County. She said this in an episode of Two Teas in a Pod, her podcast. Now, she said, so that had nothing to do with anything that's going on right now. She also said that the gym was doing good until the pandemic hit, which I 100% absolutely believe that. The pandemic put so many gyms out of business because really people weren't allowed to go into them. And also people were afraid to go into them. So the fact that they even lasted this far after the pandemic, I mean, I give them some props for that. Listen, she said, we almost made it 10 years. So I'm proud of what we did, what we built. It is what it is. It's sad. It's a loss. It's 100% a loss. It's hard. She also, though said that she has more things that are coming up. She teased, which most housewives do. Sometimes it's a podcast, but she's not teasing a podcast because she already has that. But she let us know through two Teas in a Pod that, other things will be featured on the show. But I do want to say, because I saw where people were commenting on Twitter and slamming Tamra Judge, saying, oh, well, haha, that's what you get. And, you're going out of business. And how does that feel? Let's not forget, she has Vina CBD, a very, very successful CBD company. I believe it's like worth over $1 million, this company that she's built, the CBD company. So people who are laughing, it's like, I wouldn't sleep on Tamra Judge saying that, oh, you went out of business. She has another successful business. And on top of that, people were wondering if she's still doing real estate. I don't think that she's doing real estate. And here's why. Because when Bravo talent tries to go and do real estate after a show like this, like I know Kelly Ben Simone's doing it right now, Ramona Singer's doing it, and then of course you have people like on $1 Million Listing or Selling Sunset. What happens is though there are so many people who they're like, here, let me pick up the phone. Oh my gosh, Tamra Judge is on that listing. I'm going to pick up the phone right now and call and see if it's actually her who answers. And then you have people who are just wasting her time. So of course, no, she doesn't want to do real estate. And if she has her podcast, like just let the woman live. Now, the Instagram account for Cut Fitness, which stands for Cardio Unique Training, has been selling various pieces of equipment since June, but the gym has yet to post about its recent closure. Tamra, obviously her rep, didn't immediately respond to requests for comment from Page Six, but her rep doesn't really need to respond because she's the one who's giving us the information. Page Six was also the one who broke the news in July that Tamra will return to the Real Housewives of Orange County after being fired in January 2020 following 12 seasons. Now, I did want to say, technically, she was not fired. Okay, she was demoted and then she knew her worth and she did not take a lesser role. So Page Six, I don't know about that one. And secondly, I love how they say Page Six broke the news, but really Tamra broke the news on Watch What Happens Live with Andy Cohen when she showed out, grabbed her orange and was like, I'm back. The judge is back and drama is in session. I believe that's what she said. Tamra is thrilled to come back to the show, especially after feeling the fan love from her stint on Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip Ex-Wives Club. She can't wait to get back in the mix on Real Housewives of Orange County and see how she can shake up the dynamic. I can tell you how you can shake up the dynamic, but also if she doesn't, then we're going to have a problem in a really dead season. We have Heather Dubrow Shannon Bedore. Heather Dubrow tried stopping Tamra Judge's return to the Real Housewives of Orange County. Shannon Bedore just cut off their friendship, and honestly, she deserves to have a bone to pick with both of them. Heather Dubrow came out of left field by saying, how can she have a podcast? She's a housewife. How can you have a podcast and be a housewife and be on a show that you talk about? Well, she doesn't have to talk about the Real Housewives of Orange County, which is exactly what she's doing. She's still continuing Two Teas in a Pod, but Teddy is going to find a different co-host who I believe is going to be Megan King Edmonds, or just Megan Edmonds. No, Megan King. Yeah, just Megan King. She's going to be the host to co-host with her for the Real Housewives of Orange County. So I don't really know where Heather Dubrow was coming from. I think that she just honestly wanted to block Tamra from coming back. And if I were Tamra, I would be like, what the f- is up? What's your problem? And then on top of that, Shannon Bedore just dropping her as like she never existed, dropping their friendship because she's no longer on the show when she's the one who's calling her at 2:00 in the morning, trying to navigate her life. And she said that she was calling her drunk. Yeah, that's also shitty too. So if Tamra can come back and deliver and just like come in like a force to be reckoned with and does not, cave into these friendships and have immediate, resolution, then we have a show. We have a good show. Will Alexis Bellino be there? We don't know yet. We're still hearing that she's in contracts. Will Taylor Armstrong deliver drama? Probably not, because I think that in her mind, she thinks that she knows what the fans want. And if you watched her on Ultimate Girls Trip, it came off a little pre-produced, and I still don't necessarily understand that casting. Will Vicky Gunvalson be brought on as a friend of the show? Will she be featured? I also don't know that answer, because Vicky Gunvalson has made it pretty clear that she feels like she is the one who created this show, and she feels like she is responsible for the show, period. So I don't know if she's going to come on as a friend of the show. She even said, I know my worth and they can't afford me now. And that's the reason that they're not asking me back. And she's like, and I'm fine with that. They're going to bring in other talent. But I don't want to just give you this information. Speaking of which, I don't know if you guys knew this, Vicky and Kelly announced that that they will both be doing a podcast together. So just like Two Teas in a Pod, these two housewives over here, Tamra and Teddy, it looks like now we're going to have Vicky and Kelly. I'm curious how that's going to work out. And I'm curious on top of that, will it be a Housewives inspired podcast? Will they be talking about the Housewives like Two Teas in a Pod? How often will they be posting, and what will the name be? I know that she almost mentioned the name, or she was talking about the name Kelly Dodd on her show, her YouTube show, the Rick and Kelly show. And when she did, I believe it was Rick who was like, no, don't say the name, don't say the name. So he wants there to be an announcement, and he doesn't want her to ruin it by, putting it out there before they decide to announce together. And I don't mean ruin it like she would, obviously we're going to find out at some point, but you guys get the point. I am curious though, is that something that you guys would be interested in? I mean, honestly, I slept on Two Teas in a Pod. I didn't think it was going to be that good at all. And I love Two Teas in a Pod, and they're constantly making headlines every single week, whether it's Reality Blurb, Radar Online, Page 6, obviously. And maybe Vicky and Kelly's show would be just as successful. I don't know if they'll be on iHeartRadio, but I would assume that they would probably be on iHeartRadio, considering Vicky has connections with iHeartRadio. But maybe they don't want a competing podcast. But then it wouldn't be it would be a competing podcast anyway. So why not home it at the same place? I don't know. Guys, go ahead and comment below. I want to hear what your thoughts are. I want to hear your unfiltered opinions. And yeah, don't forget to smash that like button, get subscribed, hit that notification bell, and we'll see you next time. Bye, guys.